In the second half of the 1950s, the Americans easily flew over Soviet lands and obtained intelligence information. There was no way to interfere with these planes because they flew at an altitude level that was out of range for Allied fighters and air defenses. But, and this came to an end. This momentous event took place on one of the Soviet holidays, May 1st, Labor Day. On that day, the entire working population of the Union was greeted with a victory over the unreachable enemy's reconnaissance aircraft. The U.S. airplane entered the border of the Union lands in the morning at 535 a little southeast of the city of Kirovabad, which is located in Tajikistan. The scout had time to pass through the following route: Aral Sea, Chelyabinsk, Magnitogorsk. The plane was flying at a fairly high altitude of 68,000 pounds. The radar detected it instantly, but the leadership had no opportunity to do anything. The Soviet-issue MiG-19s flew out to intercept it, but due to their technical characteristics, they were unable to climb to such an altitude. Pilot Francis Gary Powers was at the controls of an American U-2 reconnaissance plane. The air defense officers on duty were ringing off the hook with endless calls. The higher-ups, ordering action. Even Malinovsky, defense minister at the time, made a call and furiously shouted into the phone, "Shame. The Soviet Union gave the air defense everything it needed, and you are not even capable of destroying a subsonic airplane." However, the Ministry of Defense drew hasty conclusions. The Soviets had just received their newest 3 RKC-25 units, which were launched in the Union for the first time in history on the holiday. One of the 7 missiles hit an American plane, but at that altitude it was quite difficult to track, and several more missiles were fired. But, as they say, the first pancake bread, so there were some inaccuracies, and the missile hit a Soviet MiG-19 and almost brought down the Su-9. Powers managed to eject and was apprehended by our soldiers. After that, American pilot was sent by helicopter to Sverdlovsk and then to the capital. Khrushchev was immediately informed about the successful operation and made unflattering remarks about his colleagues from the West. Kennedy would reply that the plane had gone astray and lost its way. The U.S. president could not have anticipated that an American pilot was being held captive by the Russians at the time. Only a week after the capture of the spy, Khrushchev told the American president that their spy was already testifying about what he was doing over the territory of the Soviet Union. A public trial of U.S. citizen Francis Power was scheduled for mid-August 1960 at the Union House. By court order, the American was declared a spy and exiled to the Gulag, where he served almost a year, and then he was exchanged for a Soviet spy named unreachable. The wreckage of the downed enemy plane was transported to Moscow and put on display as a trophy. This exhibition in Gorky Park was an indication of the triumph over the enemy and was shown to foreign partners on friendly visits. Those officers who took part in the operation were recognized with awards and medals. 21 people received them, including Officer Sergei Safronov, who won the Order of the Red Banner, but, unfortunately, posthumously. It was his airplane, shot down by his own mistake. Division commanders also received insignia. In general context, this event had a great impact on the political atmosphere, because it showed that it was no longer safe for foreign spies to fly over Soviet territory. In addition, the Cold War was gaining momentum, and any rapprochement between the two countries was out of the question. These events would reverberate in 1962, when the Cuban Missile Crisis occurred, and the whole planet would be on the brink of nuclear war.